Good Monday morning on this holiday morning for Massachusetts and Vermont, I guess, and Maine. I am Glynis. You are listening to the 2Gs in a Pod, Glynis and Guest Show, live here on WSMNradio.com, /listen-live-2, the number 2, or on 1590 on your dial, if it is a dial button. Please visit the website, 2gsinapod.com. Like us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. We're all over the social networks. 2Gs in a Pod is brought to you today by SweetShot Photography, New Hampshire's go-to photographers for events, commercial, and headshot photography. Please visit their website at sweetshotphotography.com. Like them on Facebook, Twitter. We're all over that place, too. Today I have a new sponsor, and very happy to announce the new sponsor, HR Synergy LLC. She is also a co-host with me. Good morning.
Good morning, Glynis.
Good morning, Michelle Gray.
How are you?
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your sponsorship of HR Synergy LLC?
So I am a human resource consultant working with small businesses that don't have a human resource person in-house for the most part, help them work towards federal and state labor law compliance and putting together effective employee communication tools. So developing performance appraisal programs, employee handbooks, job descriptions, policies, those types of things to help employers communicate with their employees what they expect.
Woo. Welcome.
Fun. Thank you.
Thank you for the sponsorship, too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have a full pod today, huh?
We have a very full pod.
For this President's Day.
Cozy.
It's very cozy and warm, right? You told me my hands were cold, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Warm heart.
Warm heart. Thank you. We have, over in the corner there, we have a couple people in the corner there, sitting in the corner, reading their stuff. We have Greg Rehm of Liberty Hill Construction. Hi, Greg.
Hello there.
And next to Greg, we have Marlana Carroll, which I am going to make an introduction later on because this is a wonderful new introduction that we have going on 2Gs in a Pod. But this morning, we have a guest, Stacy Clark from Turnstone Corporation.
Good morning.
Good morning, Stacy. Thank you for coming in.
Happy to be here.
On this, I guess it's a holiday for everybody but New Hampshire. That's okay. I'm glad. It gives us more opportunity. They're all driving down Route 3. So, Stacy, welcome.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about Turnstone Corporation, what you do?
Sure. Turnstone Corporation's a construction management firm. We also do design build and general contracting. We work in the state of New Hampshire. We're out of Milford, New Hampshire, and we've been in business for about 12 years now. I came back from Boston. I was a public accountant down there, and my dad gave me the opportunity to start the business with him.
Whoa, so you are the president?
I am.
You're the president. See, I love this, a woman-owned construction business. How cool is that?
It is fun. We have a good time with it most of the time.
So tell us a little bit about some of the projects that you guys do. And
Sure. Most recently, we did the Amherst Town Hall.
Yes.
They had some structural problems up with their timber frame. It was a historical project, so that was exciting. We had done another project there years ago where we put a basement underneath the town hall, and that was another challenging project. So some of these historical projects that we do are a passion of my father's, and,
cool.
and we love tackling them. As well, we just finished the new location for Great Bay Community College up in Rochester, New Hampshire.
Oh, wow.
And they're looking to expand already into about another 6,000 to 11,000 square feet. So they're doing great things up there in Rochester, and that's been a great project. We also did a very small project, but a fun project out at Tupelo Music Hall. I don't know if any of the listeners have been out there, but it's a great place to go and see music.
Where is that?
It's out in Londonderry.
Oh,
Yeah, and they
I
have
know I heard of
bands
it.
that come in. It's very small, intimate setting, and they redid the kitchen there so that they could serve their clients better. So, and that came from, she had worked up in Portsmouth at Great Bay and knew about our company and about how our guys in the field service our clients, and she chose Turnstone.
Whoa.
So we're excited.
See
about
that?
Yeah.
See that?
Nice.
Isn't that, I love hearing stories like this. Especially, it's a tough business to be a woman in.
It's a very tough
Right,
business to
Greg?
be
I
a woman
mean,
in.
it's a business that construction industry has always been male dominated.
Typically,
See you trailblazing, I love it.
oh, thank you very much.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I was very interested in the Amherst. I'm from Amherst, and I can remember I had just read that in our Amherst Citizen that Stacy's company did the renovations on Town Hall. And I can remember for months having all that scaffolding in front of we were like, what is going on with Town Hall? I had no idea that you guys did the basement also.
Yes.
And
we
how do
did.
you do that? Raise
Yeah,
the whole building up?
how old is
How do you
the
do
Town
that?
Hall?
Oh, it's over 200 years old. I do know that. And it backs up to a cemetery. So I do know when we did the first project, we actually dug up a couple of graves
Ew.
underneath the building. So
That's
that was a
it must be underneath the building?
yeah.
Wow. Talk about ghosts. Bats in the belfry.
It's a little creepy.
But it must have been interesting. I mean, how is this? We're probably getting off on a tangent here, but the structure of a 200-some-odd-year-old building.
Yeah.
How
it
is the
was-
beams and everything?
So that particular building is built on a rubble foundation, and if most people ever got underneath and had looked at it previously, they probably would have feared going inside because the structure was just held on rubble stone, no mortar in between the joints. So and it was 4 brick thick. So in order to dig underneath the building, we had to come up with a little bit of engineering with a structural engineer on how to keep the building in place.
Wow.
While we dug underneath. So my dad, being as creative as he is, came up with an idea to squeeze it with some steel. And we would dig 4 feet, shore 4 feet, pour 4 feet of wall, and continue on that way.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So
And
just
have you ever been in Amherst Town Hall?
I have
It's
not.
gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But it's like old. All of those,
Yeah.
all of the village.
A lot of the difficult work that we did is on that particular project. Both of them can't really be seen. You know,
Wow,
it's-
see?
it's
And
hidden
people
in the
don't
roofs and
realize
the
that. They
walls.
just saw the front of it, and, the Amherst Citizen made a big deal to what a great job you did. But they don't know what really went into it, which I find fascinating, that you got down deep and dirty down there.
Yeah.
Wow.
The last project was the roof structure, and it's timber framed, and it was all hand hewn. And they had hired a consultant that wanted to keep as much of the historical integrity of the building as we could. So we had to hand hew all the beams, and we didn't use very many power tools to do. the
How
work that we
cool
did
is
up there.
that?
Wow.
I mean, really, that is so, but that's like Greg has, how old is your home?
Almost 200 years.
So you have the same issues.
Challenges.
Challenges. It's very challenging, but I think this is so cool. I have to ask you a question.
Sure.
I know we call it the fishbowl, the village green. It's if you ever been to the Amherst Center, it's all around the village green, and it is a fishbowl because you have to get approval from the historic. I call it the Historic Society. Yeah, the Historic Society. My husband calls it the Hysterical Society. But you have to get the approval of the Amherst Historic Society before you can do anything, correct?
Yeah, we weren't a part of that process. We were just a part of the process from when the bid documents came out and
I
then
see.
doing the construction work itself. So Glenn Dodge of Dodge Co.
Right.
was the consultant they hired to work through that process with.
Wow.
But that was one of the biggest pieces, was keeping the historical integrity of the building.
Yep.
And discovering how the structure had just become, not as good as it should have been over the years. We had some trusses and so on and so forth that weren't in the places that they were supposed to be. So it was
Wow.
good that the work was done.
So how does Turnstone discover this? So when you take the bid and you've won the job, and what is your process? Do you have employees in house that handle all your own engineers, architects, etc.? Do you subcontract out? What is the flow for Turnstone?
Sure. So on a general contracting project where it would be low bid, we determine what work we can do on the project, and then we hire subcontractors for other specific work. So mechanical subcontractors, electrical subcontractors. On this particular project, it was done by our own workforces, and then we hired some specialty timber frame gentlemen to work with our team on this project. And the town had hired their own mechanical and their own electrical subcontractors that we had to work with. With a construction management project, it depends on what the owner would like. Sometimes we do use our own workforces, and sometimes we do not. And
Great.
with design build projects, we usually team up with an architect, an electrician, and a mechanical contractor, and the mechanical and electrical contractors team up with an engineer. So we all collaborate on how to get that work done.
Nice. So are you, is Turnstone more like the general manager, or if you will, of a project?
We oversee the entire project, and we're responsible for the completion
Nice.
of the entire project and making sure all the parts and pieces get done as per the plans and specifications that are set forth.
Wow.
That's fun.
I know. See,
Yeah.
it was
That's
something
fun.
I always wanted to get into. I really did. I mean, it's,
Well, having worked for a builder for many years, it's kind of neat to see things from beginning to end,
right.
and how much of a difference you can make.
It's nice to see the users get back into their spaces.
Right. Yeah, because we
And
were
really-
without the town clerk for a long time. We had to go to the fire department, to get our registrations and everything. And we would be like, what the heck is going on? How this must be costing no wonder our taxpayer dollars and all of this stuff. But the end result was absolutely, it's magnificent. I love going inside town hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you been up into the meeting room too?
No, did that too?
Well, we redid a lot of the historical tin because years ago they had divided it up into separate rooms, so one of the walls didn't have the tin on it. Well, they took it off of another section that was in a stairwell,
Oh my God.
and then we redid it inside the meeting house so it could be more back to its
I have to go up
historical
there.
place. Yeah, it's beautiful.
I love our town hall.
That'd be a road trip.
Yeah. Well, it's cool because in the spring, they have the third and fourth graders go on a field trip. And they go into not all of them, but they have certain houses. Town hall is number one place that they go into, and they talk all about the history of each building. One of the houses down from town hall was a bank. It's really, and they got a big, huge vault in this bank, in this house. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that goes on that behind the scenes, like you said,
Yeah,
that you got to see.
yeah, we do. It's great to go on site and see everything that the guys are doing.
So let me ask you a question again, Stacy. You said you found 2 graves. What do you do about that? Because I know it's no, seriously, you can't touch these things. So how did you work?
Well, we had to stop the progress of the work and call the state. And the state came
See?
in and investigated and removed the remains. And then they had to determine whether or not they were Indian or if they were of English descent. If they were Indian, we would have run into a significant number of other problems. But because they were English, what they did was they took those remains and then buried them somewhere else so that they could have their
They
resting
were
place.
Indian.
No, they were not.
They were
They
not.
were English. Yep.
Wow. Did you get to find out what they discovered? How old these graves were there?
No, not in detail.
See, to me, this stuff fascinates me. It really does. I mean, this is such history and what goes on. Only you guys digging deep,
Literally.
literally deep, getting dirty down there. Yeah, but it's cool. I think not many companies do this anymore. So I praise you because you guys did a fabulous job. And for the listeners, if you know Amherst, come into Amherst and see the town hall. You can't miss it. It's right at the end of the village green. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It really is. So tell us some more about what I know you're involved in a lot of. You're a board member of
The Association of Builders and Contractors, which we call the ABC of New Hampshire. Turnstone's a very active member there, and the Association of Builders and Contractors is an association of contractors that are merit shop. So we believe in, good competitive, quality work. And so the association does a number of different things. They help us educate our employees. They help us keep track of what's going on legislatively up at the State House. Years back, there was a project labor agreement on the New Hampshire Job Corps Center that's being built in Manchester. That project labor agreement would have kept New Hampshire businesses from being able to work on that project, and it's a $30 million project, so it's a lot of New Hampshire jobs. And the ABC, we were actually one of the protesters. So Turnstone was as a part of the ABC effort there.
Now, why would they not want, not to cut you off here, but why would they not want it to be New Hampshire businesses to do this?
What it comes down to is the project labor agreement makes it difficult for merit shop businesses to be a part of that contract. And New Hampshire is mostly comprised of merit shop contractors. And it's because it was a federal project, and there's other political issues that run around that. But we are happy to say that we fought the project labor agreement twice on that project, and it did go out merit shop, and it was awarded to a New Hampshire contractor.
Good for you.
Yes, so we do a lot.
Isn't
of
that
great
nice to
things.
hear?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Keeping it home.
Yeah, well, and we've been discussing this on prior shows, how we're trying to keep young people working here in New Hampshire.
And the old.
Excuse me. We're not going to get into that.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. It is part of a initiative to try to keep. It should be New Hampshire business. I mean, that's crazy to me. So good for you guys to support that.
Yeah, and the ABC helps us just keep up with regulatory and compliance, and it's really great for relationships within the industry.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because we have Kendall Buck once a month. Do you know Kendall?
I do not.
Kendall is on the state level for the New Hampshire Home Builders Association.
Yeah.
Same thing. He keeps us on top of all the legislation. So tell us some more about yourself. I know you're very involved in a lot of other. You've spearheaded a young professional.
Yeah, at the ABC, we found in the construction industry that getting young people involved earlier really helps. You go to these events and networking events and so on and so forth, and the young people just really felt pushed out. They felt as though nobody wanted to talk to them, or nobody, had an interest, that they had no connection. So, and then our president, Mark Holden, just really wanted to do something to make sure that we keep young people in this industry and that they are important, and to get them involved a lot sooner. So we started a young professionals group, and it's been very, very successful.
Now, is it primarily geared towards kids, young professionals who want to get into the construction industry, building, architecture, that kind of?
It is, but there's a lot of service providers too. So insurance companies or somebody like Michelle might be interested because there are companies there that may need her services.
There you go, Michelle.
I don't think I'm a young professional.
Oh, we're all, yeah, we are.
I was looking at one not too long ago, and I believe it said the age group was between 18 and 40, and I'm like, I'm out.
Well,
Why not?
So is there an age limit?
We when we started the young professionals group did not want to put an age limit on it. At the time, I think I was 37 or 38, so I was pushing that 40 mark, and we didn't want to keep anybody over 40 from attending events and being a part of it, because it's not about the age you are, it's about the spirit that you have.
Absolutely.
'Cause
I am not old at heart.
Me neither.
Yet.
We're going to go into the numbers game, and numbers don't matter.
Yeah, no, they don't.
But Greg, you guys just came back from the high school, Nashua High School.
Correct.
Getting young people involved. Like a job fair.
Kind of. Our industry is really suffering from a lack of people coming into it.
So, by going to the high school, you can.
Yeah.
You keep your microphone, Stacy.
Yeah,
we need you there.
We're trying to promote opportunities within the industry for our young kids coming up. Give them a window in to our industry and provide them an example of what they can achieve within it.
And that's what the young professional, your network.
Yeah, and I think as well some of society's sort of viewpoint about the jobs that might be within a construction industry, where some kids coming out of high school really just want to work with their hands, or they really want to be a craftsman, and to say that there's nothing wrong with that.
About young professionals.
Absolutely.
Your startup of the young professionals. And we have joining us now at the pod. We are quite crowded here. Getting a little hot in here. We have Greg Rehm. And we have, I need to introduce her. Because I want her to make a little bit of an introduction. I know you guys, my social media guy, really talked on Facebook about the new up-and-coming show. Heard it on the Grapevine, and now we're calling it's now going to be
On the Grapevine.
On the Grapevine.
Remember, you heard it first on the Grapevine.
Oh, I love it. Welcome, Marlana Carroll. She is our new host of excited about this, bringing in the Millennials. We talk Millennials. You're going to start March 3rd. Tell the listeners what we're going to be talking about, what your show is going to, the formatting. We have your company is a sponsor, Grapevine Marketing.
Yes. So we're asking you to tune in to hear stories of young professionals finding their way in a new market of their business. So how they're marketing in this noisy world with all the social media out there, with all the blogs, and, how to rent space versus owning the space. And we look forward to giving you actionable advice every single show that you can bring directly to your business and start applying it right away through these success stories.
See? Millennials aren't so bad, are they? They get a bad rap. But I'm thrilled because I have two millennials, so I can completely relate, and I've learned a lot. And we are so excited to have you start March 3rd. Listeners, you've got to tune in. Go live. We have live streaming, and I think March 3rd we're going to have the cam going. So, because we have a young entrepreneur coming on that you're going to be interviewing. So, yeah, isn't this exciting, Michelle?
This is very exciting, Glennis.
We've got 3 microphones and 5 people. So this is a little tough. But back to Stacy. You guys, I know Marlana was like admiring Stacy's. We all were Stacy's logo. That's going to be something you're going to be touching upon in branding.
We will certainly be showing her lovely sweater on the Facebook page. So definitely check out 2Gs in a Pod later this afternoon. But she definitely knows how to brand herself. And she was here bright and early this morning. And I was just so excited to learn more about her business.
See that? Whoa. Is this, are you, I got chills.
I want that logo.
Thank you very much.
I'm not talking about her logo.
Into HR synergy. I'm not quite sure, but I like the bird.
Well, you're not a bird.
And it's funny because most people don't realize that Turnstone is a bird. Mm-hmm. So we sort of, we always knew that. That's how we selected the name. Turnstone bird turns stones to feed itself. So we say we leave no stone unturned. And my dad's background, his trade, although he's been in the contracting business on the construction management and general contracting side since 1974, his real trade, how he got started, was in masonry. So we linked the bird and leaving no stone unturned and keeping with his sort of love of working with stone.
How cool is that?
Creative minds.
Well, we are all,
right?
Every one of us sitting at this table we're all creative.
It took us a long time to get here, too, because we had a pretty simple logo to start with. And about 4 or 5 years ago, started, really thinking about how to get Turnstone to stand out a little bit more. And as we were sort of going through the process, I really wanted to see if we needed to change the logo. And through some conversations with our consultants at Pixate, we decided that we needed to at least explore it. So,
what is your? Didn't ask you. What is the website so that website so that we can go see? Everybody can go to Turnstone Corporation's to see the logo, which is, I love your front page.
Yeah, thank you for that. Because Christine in my office, who does my social media and my marketing, she told me to
Did she keep saying, make sure you say?
And we haven't done it yet.
Yay, Christine, thank you.
We're at
TurnstoneCorp.com. So TurnstoneCorp.com. And we do have a Facebook page that Christine keeps up to date for us. And I am also on LinkedIn, so would love people to link in with me.
To link in with you. I was going to say it another way, but in today's day, they don't say that anymore because my kids said, Mom, you don't say those things.
And don't forget to like us.
That's right. Make sure. Okay, Marlana, this is a great test for to hear our listeners, and if they're listening on the live stream. Go to Turnstone Corporation's Facebook page, like them, and we'll be able to see how many today you got likes on, how many hits you got to your
that would be excellent.
Right? This is how we're going to track everything from now on, because we're not even going to get into what Marlene is going to be doing. But the reason why I have Greg Rehm on with us from Liberty Hill Construction with Stacy, you two both have something in common together. You are you're a member of the Building on Hope Foundation.
Yes. It's a great organization that was started about 3 or 4 years ago. 4 years ago. And Turnstone just learned about it this year. But, once learning about what they do, had no problem hopping on board and starting to work with this organization. I'm going to let Greg speak a little bit more about how the organization got started and what we're doing.
So before you do, Greg, Turnstone is involved in Building on Hope?
Yes.
They absolutely are, and she just gave us a great example of what happens when people learn about Building on Hope. We get partners for life because it's such a fantastic organization. So we're happy to have Turnstone as part of our team now as well. Building on Hope is a community organization of volunteers that work with builders, architects, and designers to provide physical improvements to facilities associated with nonprofit service groups. Basically, we're a catalyst. We help take nonprofits and provide connections with them within our industry to get things done. There's so many great organizations in New Hampshire. It's easy to find great projects, and we pick things that are actually, honestly, beyond our comfort zone. They challenge us, and they force us to do our best.
So these nonprofit organizations don't really have the funds all the time to improve their facilities or their homes where they live. You know, not their homes where they physically live, but where they live their working day and provide services to people. The first project that they did, I think, really touched my heart a lot because when Jonathan Hawley from Warren Street Architects, which is one of the founders of the organization, started telling me the story, it just tugged on my heartstrings. So there's a home for boys in Manchester that the Easter Seals is in charge of. And these boys were living on mattresses on the floors, and the home just was so old and in such disrepair. And they were happy to be there because where they came from was so much worse than that. Yeah. But then these contractors and architects and engineers all got together and gave their services. And there's lots and lots of companies who have given toilets or stoves or paint or drywall, or so there's so many people that have given, but these boys have a brand new home to live in, and they have all furniture now. And it's just, that to me really impacts the future of this state when we can take children who are really in need and provide them a real comfortable space to live.
It's called the Carroll House in Manchester. Greg. And what's really great is it goes beyond just the construction industry. I mean, we have caterers donating time. We have large companies sending teams of their employees. It's such a community event. It really builds, you know, what New Hampshire, what's good about New Hampshire, and about community spirit.
And this is all volunteer?
All volunteer.
Wow, see?
Yeah, and these builds impact so many people's lives for a lifetime. You know, we're talking 20, 30 years. So when you give of this once, this non-for-profit will reap the benefits for many years to come.
Well, I was reviewing Building on Hope, knowing that the two of you are going to be on talking about it. Quite an impressive committee.
Oh, we have a fantastic committee.
Name drop, because it's amazing of the people who are involved in this on the committee.
We have two absolutely fantastic chairs of our committee, Karen Vanderbeeken of Easter Seals and Jonathan Hawley of Warren Street Architects. They're really our leaders. They're that driving force that keeps us going, but they're supported by another 14 to 16 individuals, most of which are also owners of companies. But we have such a diverse network on our committee that we're able to get things done with incredible success.
Oh, I was shocked at some of not shocked, but I was completely impressed. It's a phenomenon, especially Marlana coming on with, young people. To get involved in volunteer nonprofits is key, I think. And I'd love to hear, all these young professionals getting involved in these nonprofits. Is it a nonprofit organization?
Building on Hope, we don't classify ourselves as a nonprofit group. We're just a team of people that work with existing nonprofits, and we help them succeed. I mean, we do not take any income in or distribute it out necessarily, but I don't think we're classified as a nonprofit. Really, we're just a community of people helping nonprofits to succeed.
Right. So this particular project this year is Opportunity Networks, and they are located in Amherst, New Hampshire. And they help challenged adults mostly, so in the teenage years and older, I believe. And you probably need to go to their website to see a little bit more about them. but help them get to a place where that they can be a part of a workforce.
They're being taught life skills.
Wow.
Right. Thank you. So donations for this particular project go directly to Opportunity Networks if they're of a cash value. And if it's a tangible item like a toilet, they get donated directly to the project itself.
So if getting involved in this project, if anybody's interested, how would people like myself get involved in something like this? Do we go through Building on Hope, or
you would go through Building on Hope first, but you would be directed to Opportunity Networks. So again, you're passing through Building on Hope. That's where you're going to get a lot of information about it. But all the donations are really going to Opportunity Networks. We've had some partners ask to sponsor a particular portion of the project, and they might earmark their donation for a particular designer or a particular room on the project.
And how it works is there are many different designers that donate their time and their expertise, and they each get assigned a room or 2 rooms depending on the size. So, somebody might take the 3 or 4 bathrooms that we have instead of taking 1 bathroom each. But some of the bigger rooms, it'll be 1 designer, 1 contractor, and
our attempt is to partner our designers with construction companies or sponsors to help them complete their space. And
now are the construction companies, are they doing it volunteer, or does it?
Everything, once Building on Hope starts, everything is volunteer. So all companies are donating their time, their materials, their services. They're utilizing their contacts and their networks.
And our build week starts May 17th?
I think it actually starts May 10th, if I'm correct.
My birthday.
And it's completed. Our reveal is May 18th,
right,
which is Sunday.
So the actual project in Amherst has not begun yet?
No, the Building on Hope portion has not begun yet. I mean, we've been planning for months, and we'll continue to get more intensive almost on a weekly basis. And our room grows, and more people come in, and more people learn and get excited about it. But our actual build portion won't start until May.
Wow.
There's a lot of planning that goes into
I'm
it so that you
sure.
can do it within a week.
So is it kind of like the Amherst Town Hall, where it's going to be in phases so that the Opportunity Network can continue to?
No, actually, Opportunity Network is in a new space for the time being.
Okay.
So they've moved everything out because the project requires removing everything in 6,000 square foot facility.
Wow. So if anybody, our listeners, want to get involved, where should they go to?
Really, they should go to the Building on Hope website.
Which is?
buildingonhope.org.
Thank you, Stacy. And you will be directed there. You will have prompts, and it will show you how to be involved or donate.
Yeah, because I'd be interested in, doing photography. Gosh, you could get involved too, right?
Absolutely.
Anyone can be involved.
Yeah.
And since we have a marketing person at our table here, talk about a great marketing opportunity for businesses and people. Not only do you feel great and be involved in your community, but your business gets marketed. I have continued to hire multiple people that I've met on the Building on Hope projects.
Wow. You use the word hire. Bringing on, you're hiring people. Are they being paid, or is it they're donating?
Well, in my business, I'm paying them.
Okay.
So I'm learning about them
Gotcha.
as a volunteer on the Building on Hope project, and then within my business, I'm then utilizing them.
That's awesome. That is awesome, because it's connecting to several different communities under one.
Yeah, and please go to the website and check out all of the companies that have donated in the past, because these companies really have done some fantastic things, and there's just way too many to name on today's show.
Well, I was amazed. I really was. Did you by chance check it out?
I did. I went to the page and looked at that as well as Turnstone's website, and it's just incredible. And it's funny because you and I had talked a couple of weeks ago about how important it is for people who are unemployed to volunteer and to give back. And it not only does it look great on your resume, it helps you to feel better, and it gives employers like Greg an opportunity to see your skills. So it's interesting absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It really is.
We average over 200 companies or businesses on a typical Building on Hope project.
And these people that you do bring on, both of you, I mean, it gives you an idea of who you're going to be, could possibly be hiring for your own business.
Absolutely.
Seeing that what they can do.
Yeah. I mean, just as an example, just recently, we're thinking about doing some video testimonials to put on our website. And there's a gentleman, B2B, I think, that does video clips. And so we've asked him to give us a proposal for that. So it's just, it is a great thing to do, but there's also this other piece to it that's just an added benefit.
Well, it's the giving of yourself, because it always comes back to you some way. It's not. I say to my kids all the time, because millennials are all of us are very big on, Mom, how much is it? It's not going to pay my. And I will say all the time, it's not about the money. It's not always about the money. It's about giving back to people, and it will always come back to you in one way, shape, or form.
You attend one of the reveals on one of these Building on Hope projects, and you'll be back for every project. I guarantee it.
So when you say reveal, I'm envisioning, move that bus.
The last one, which was Girls Inc. In Manchester, it was close to that, where all the girls had been held away. The complete facility was renovated, and it is absolutely beautiful. And then they were all paraded through the space on Sunday at the reveal, and there wasn't a dry eye. It was fantastic.
See, and that's what, when you get to my age, that's what it's all about. It's the feel good, what I did for somebody else, for these girls. Where can they go? What is the website again? Is buildingonhope.org?
Yes.
Correct.
Buildingonhope.org. Is there a Facebook page?
There is a Facebook page.
Okay. Yeah. See, Marlana's on top. Marlana, tell us where can we get in touch with Building on Hope?
Well, I think the best way is to go directly to their website, because there's just so much valuable information, and it's a really nicely done website.